Yogi Clan, good day. I hope you are doing well. I had a interesting conversation at a clubhouse the other night with a fella about things like your purpose in life and being a man. And I wanted to touch on that because I thought it was kind of interesting. Being a man, your purpose in life. You know, when you're a kid, right? All the adults ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? And you have, the choices are limitless, right? You have so many ideas of what you want to be and what you want to do, and so many choices, and it's hard to pick like just one, right? Really hard to pick just one. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a professional football player. I want to do this. I want to do that. You know, what do you do? Well, I think the key to figuring out what you want to do is, what are you good at? What do you enjoy? What do you like? Me, I'm really good at math. I enjoy math. So for 10 years of my life, I was a banker. Yeah, I was a commercial banker. Go figure. Could you picture me in a suit and tie every day going to work? Yeah, I didn't really like that. That's why I'm not a banker anymore. In addition to the fact that when the economy crumbled and the whole banking sector crumbled in 2009, I got laid off. So I was kind of forced to choose a different career. But when talking to this fella the other night at the clubhouse, he's like, hey man, how's life going? He's like, from what I understand, I can tell it's been kind of rough. You've had a lot of changes going on lately. I'm like, well, yes I have. You know, we were attending the same church for 22 years, and in January of this year, we went to a different church called Refuge, the Refuge, I guess it is, and found a lot of people that we already knew at that church, some of them from our prior church. We were moved by the fact of their core values, their core saying is, don't just be hearers of the word, be doers of the word. And that really hit us. It's where my wife and my heart felt like being. So after 22 years of going to the same church, we changed churches, long story short. Second thing we did this year, I did this year, obviously according to one of my other videos, I'm no longer with Disciple Christian Motorcycle Club. Oh look, I think they have gas. Oh look, like the pumps aren't fully full. Maybe they don't have gas, they're still white bags. Never mind. Maybe they're just getting snacks. So, 8 years with Disciple Christian Motorcycle Club. 2021, no longer there. I have no more patches on, as you can see. So 2 major changes in my life this year. So when this fella asked me, how's it going? I was like, you know what? Actually, it's pretty darn good. And why is it good? Because I see seasons of change in my life. You know, we all go through different seasons, right? And nothing stays the same forever. Things change. And, you know, this time these things changed, in my opinion, for the good. We're getting active. We're getting involved. We're getting out in the community. We're doing what we say we do. I say that, all that to say, you know, life's been good, man. Life's been good. And I think that just like we all have different choices on what careers we want to do, what direction we want to go, we also have choices on the question of what is my purpose in life? Why am I here on this planet? What is my purpose? And this is where I come to the part about being a man. Because to answer that question of why am I here, what is my purpose, again, it goes back to the same answer as what do you want to do for work? You know, what are you good at? What gifts do you have? What gifts did the good Lord above give to you so that you can A, love the Lord God with all your heart, and B, love your neighbor as yourself? Those are the 2 greatest commands that Christ tells us out of all commands. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. So, if we are to love our neighbor, what does that look like? You know, for each one of us, it may be something different. My ministry, my wife's ministry, caring for the fatherless and the motherless. I feel like we are called to that. I feel like I'm called to loving my neighbor. I feel like I'm called to Matthew 28, go out into the world and spreading my word and making disciples. And I feel that that is my own personal calling. So as I look at my life and what defines me as a man, I have a forward path put in front of me of the things that I feel led that I'm supposed to do. And I think each one of us has one of those paths in front of us. We just need to figure out, A, what's our gifts, and B, where is that path? And when you find that path, you stay on that path, and you use your abilities, your God-given traits to work as you are heading down that path. And sometimes things are going to come and they're going to try to push you off that path. They're going to try to knock you off that path. But what defines you as a man or a woman is how you get back on that path. You know, it's not when life knocks you down, your character is defined as how you get back up. How do you get back up, dust yourself off, and keep walking down that path? And when things knock you from the left and things knock you from the right, do you get so far off that path that you know, now you're fighting with depression. Now you're fighting with anxiety. Now you feel lost. You feel like you have no journey, no end point, no nothing. You follow me? So to me, what defines you as a man is how you walk down that path. Are you doing what are you just existing? Are you just here? Are you just taking advantage of your neighbor? Or are you truly loving and caring for your neighbor? Are you truly walking down the path to try to put other people before yourself? And that to me really kind of defines being a man. And you know, when you look down that path, I don't see a finish line. There is no finish line to me. I mean, the finish line ultimately would be a heavenly place, right? But I don't see that at the end of the finish line. I just see a path that really has an infinity symbol on it. Because, you know, I don't, hey, let's bake some cookies for the new neighbors. Okay, check that box, I'm done. I was good to my neighbors. Okay, I don't need to do anything anymore. No, man, that's not the way it works. I was just thinking about that the other night, and we were talking about that in the clubhouse. Because I think there's so many people in this life that have no idea where their path is or what they're good at. That's because they haven't had the time to sit and search themselves, you know? But when you find what you're good at, when you find what your gifts are, then start putting them to work. And when you start putting them to work, you'll figure out your path in life. You know, one of my biggest gifts is service. It is so much a gift, it's almost a curse. Because it causes problems in my marriage. Why? Because I so often just want to help people. I just want to serve people. That sometimes I do so much serving outside the house that I don't do any serving inside the house. And that causes arguments between me and my wife. Because, you know, I'm willing to drop everything to go help a friend, go help a brother, go help somebody. But it may appear that I'm not willing to drop everything to help my wife. And that can lead to arguments. So as I know that service is a gift of mine, how can I put that to use? How can I help people? So for instance, there was a couple weeks ago, there was a guy who follows my channel from Ohio. And he said to me, hey Yogi, I'm gonna be in your neck of the woods on Thursday. How about we go get some coffee on Thursday morning? I said, sure man, that sounds great. So as he was riding back up from the south, I think he was down the beach area, he called me Wednesday afternoon at about 1 o'clock. It's like, hey Yogi, I broke down. I think something's wrong with my bike, something's wrong with the clutch. And I'm stuck. And he was an hour and a half away. So here's a fellow from Ohio who's an hour and a half away from the hotel that he was going to stay at with his wife for the night. It's him and his wife. They don't know anybody in North Carolina or South Carolina. They're broken down. What am I going to do? Just leave the guy sit on the... Sorry, man. That sucks. What am I going to do? Just leave the guy on the side of the road? No. So I left work early, went home, got the trailer. 40-minute ride home. Grabbed the trailer. Hour and a half ride to where he is. I didn't have the parts to fix him, so we took him to a bike shop where we thought they may have the parts that specializes in older motorcycles. It was like a 86 Ultra, I think it was, something about like that, something around there. Evo engine. So drove him an hour after I picked him up to drop it off, and then another half hour back home. 40 minutes back home. And then went straight to church and met my family at church. So my wife was not very happy with that. We were already in the middle of a rough patch. When she saw me drop everything to go help a stranger, a fellow I never met before, and his wife, again, it brought up conversations of, you can help everybody else, but why can't you drop everything and help me? That's because service. That's my God-given gift. So I went and I served. And you know, it makes me feel good that I can help somebody. It's rewarding to me. And you know, I feel that it's part of what I'm called to do. Use my gifts to help a neighbor, you know? And your neighbor doesn't have to be the guy next door. It can be the guy from Ohio. It can be somebody from California. It can be anybody. It's your fellow man is your neighbor. So to me, that's what defines the man. I'll wrap this up because I'm rambling. That's what defines the man. Is how do you pick yourself up when you're down? And how are you using your gifts that the good Lord makes you, that good Lord gives you, to just be a good human being? If you're not religious, fine. How do you use your gifts that you have? How do you use your abilities that you were born with to help your fellow man? That's a way to put it for you non-religious folks. Are you a positive influence in this world? Or are you a negative influence in this world? Do you look for opportunities to use the gifts that you were born with? So that was kind of my deep thoughts for this Thursday. But I hope you all have a wonderful week, Yogi Clan. I hope you're able to get some gas. Appreciate your time. I'll catch you later. Peace.